Good morning, take two. Welcome everyone to Live with Joan. And I'm here on Vashon Island at look at this coffee cup, Northwest School of Animal Massage. And we just had a really fun class here, and I'll bring on our guest in a minute. So are people coming on, Claudia? I know Leslie Williams is here. That we can count on.
Yes, always. Hi, there she is. Hi, Leslie.
Hi, Leslie.
Yes, people are coming on.
Okay, cool. So I just spent the last few days in beautiful Washington State, my home state, and I got to see family for a couple of days, and then I got to teach animal communication here at Northwest School of Animal Massage. And then we got to talk to horses yesterday, which was pretty fun. And so it's been quite an adventure, and we have a day of talking to horses today down in Tacoma. So after this, we're packing up and heading out, and then I'm home tomorrow. And there's Shannon. So it's been quite an adventure, and it's actually sunny. I've not taken my coat off this entire trip. And if you know me, I don't like socks, and I've worn socks the entire time. So it's been it's been chilly, but it's been very fun. And yeah, so we have lots to share here in a moment. If you're new to me, my name is Joan Ranquet. I'm an animal communicator, author, TEDx speaker, and founder of Communication with All Life University. And the school is a program for people to learn animal communication or become an animal communicator, to learn energy healing or to become an energy healer. And we're opening up the Nature and Wildlife School. We thought this spring, but it'll be in the fall. And we're also opening up all sorts of alliances, but I'll get to that in a minute. We have a very fun virtual retreat in July, and it's maybe Shannon will put the dates in because I've had it all wrong, but it's on my calendar. So we've got an evening of bridging animal communication and energy healing, a day of animal communication, and then scalar wave energy healing on Sunday. So that's in July. I think I'm gonna let Shannon do that. And then we've got the fall intensive.
I just posted the link.
Okay, good. And then the fall intensive is October 10th, and it's never too early to think about coming down for that, or coming down because I'm in Seattle, coming over if you're on the East Coast. But we have lots of fun things coming up. So the fall intensive, and then AC Level 1 is at the end of October, and Energy Healing for Animals is at the end of November, or beginning of November. What am I saying? I go to Kenya at the end of November, and so does Tanya, and maybe Lola. But we'll talk about Lola in a minute. So all sorts of fun things. And last week we had that really amazing guest on from Austin Pets Alive. Is that the name of the organization?
Yes, Austin Pets Alive.
Oh my God. And she was so great. So, I just want to remind people that we really do have a job out there. It's 22 million animals this year that we're committed to helping. And as we all connect together, we have the opportunity to really do that and to be that. And so if we're in our mission, then we can't get in our own way. So I really invite you to think about what it is that you want to do, what it is that you want to be, and let's do it, because it takes a village. Anything else? Am I forgetting anything, Claudia?
Just that if you have any questions about any of the any of the programs or any of the classes or any of the new stuff happening, reach out to our magical, what do you call her? Goddess.
Our animal empath goddess journey coach friend.
Yes.
Shannon. Yeah. She does all of it. So she helps you create your path. She helps you look at payment plans if that's what you need to do. We have lots of ways for people to do things. Maybe she always says, well, this person's stair-stepping in. So she always talks about how people might start at this class and then keep moving on. So all sorts of ways to get in a class. So speaking of classes, I went through someone's website last night, someone whose initials are Lola, and I'm all excited because I'm going to start taking classes with the Northwest School of Animal Massage. And yeah, I've always wanted to do that. She's always wanted to take classes with me, so we're doing it. Finally, yeah, like 25 years later, whatever it is. Yeah. So anyway, I want to introduce Lola, the founder of the Northwest School of Animal Massage.
Hello.
And
very excited to be here.
Yeah. It's very cool that we got to hang out for so much.
I know, it was just, I'm sad that you'll be leaving tomorrow because we're just starting to have so much fun on a deeper connection that is long overdue.
Long overdue. Yeah, it's fun for me to be able to talk to someone else who has a school.
Yeah, I know. You kind of end up in isolation a bit as much as our interactions with our students feed us. It is nice to just be able to talk some administration, growth, development, how do we better serve our audience with another founder. I'm thrilled to have the conversation.
So just watch out. There's some fun stuff coming up. And like she said, long overdue because we've been orbiting around each other for a long time.
Absolutely. But things happen when they're meant to, so now's the time.
So, yes, Claudia. Claudia has her hand up.
Yes, Lola's a little bit out of screen.
There we go.
Out of frame.
Yeah.
Good. So one of the things that I always say this, that, and I'm going to tell a story that many of you heard a million times. If there is, animals absolutely, they only have a few ways of expressing to us, if you will, right? Like they express among themselves, and it still might not be a full expression. And why is expression important? Because it helps them relieve their emotions or any stress. And so I always tell the story of the little duck on the pond, enjoying life, and then sees a fox and goes into fight, flight, fright, or freeze. Maybe for the moment it freezes, and then it flies off, and through flying off, it releases the adrenaline, and it can land on the pond over here and see its friend and not be in, not have the stress from the situation, not be in PTSD because all of that was released and expressed through the flight. But the animals in our homes don't always have that option of flying off and getting rid of their stuff. And so one of the biggest ways I've always said to release, other than, of course, animal communication, is through body work. And so one of the reasons I'm so excited to be here is that, first of all, here's a goddess of body work, but secondly, she's really a great educator, so maybe you can share with people why you think body work is so important.
Absolutely. Well, of course, from personal experience, I've had body work make a big difference from sports injuries for myself. So I recognized pretty early on that the animals got a lot of the same benefits that we do when they're massaged. I grew up working off the racetrack and working as a vet tech, and touch was such an integral part of being able to help manage animals, whether it was because I was in a vet tech role having to hold an animal that maybe was scared or maybe was anxious about what we were needing to do, having simple ways to touch them in a way that reaffirmed their safety, helped to regulate their heart rate. Those things were immediately obvious to me that that's an important part of my job in that role. But as I moved forward and became a massage therapist, both for animals and humans, then that whole world opened up. And I continue to learn new methods, and take classes like this past weekend with the animal communication. Mm-hmm. That's just going to add a whole nother layer to my practice and to my ways of bringing our students into that opportunity to improve. But for sure, the body work is useful on so many levels. We work not only with sport animals, where a lot of people kind of think that's where the massage is going to be most useful, but also animals that are in rehabilitation, animals that are just enjoying their lives at home but need that maintenance and support because of the very reason you said they may not have the opportunity kinesthetically through movement to relieve stress and anxiety. So massage can be part of that.
And I always say, like, actually, think about how much just daily we need self-care, right? And mm-hmm. how much just maybe a dog that doesn't have an athletic job or isn't after a surgery or a rehab, like the average dog would really benefit from the circulation release and the circulation, added circulation, from all of that. And then I never understand why massage therapists for animals aren't booked from 9 to 9, because if people started to understand the benefits, they would do it all the time.
I've had the pleasure of being in the industry for over 3 decades, and when I look at today how much more accepted mm-hmm. animal massage is, the fact that veterinarians refer or even have someone on staff that they put through our programs, so that if a dog does need massage before surgery or after surgery, or so that a cat who's having difficulty in the clinic needs to go in the other room and get a short massage, they realize now, a lot of clinics realize the value of that. So it's changed exponentially, but you're right, it needs to continue to become into people's awareness. And a lot of people will say to me, well, I massage my pet all the time, which is fantastic. I say, yes, you should. And we all love massage on every level. But, there's like what I call the boyfriend massage.
which always ends up in sex, but anyway.
Which feels great, but lasts about 30 seconds.
Right.
And it just lets you know, like, I need to go book a real massage. So, you need all those levels of care. But generally speaking, when we pet our pets, it's more for the benefit that we derive from it, or with our own needs in mind. Like if I reach down to pet my dog, it's probably because I needed a little self-soothing, mm-hmm. and my dog loves it, but the focus isn't on him. And in a massage session with a trained therapist, it's all about what's this animal's needs today. And it's like you said, they take on so much of our stuff, and they live in our environments, and mm-hmm. they have great lives, but they also don't always have the opportunity to get the full focus and attention on just their health and well-being.
And to be able to express in the way that they would, because we shut them down when they bark,
Oh, right.
Guilty. Yeah, same. I come over and have a little chat, like, really? I know now what the neighbor's doing. Thank you. But anyway, so it's an absolute... I think necessity and should be built into people's lives of, we go get the dental, we do this, we need to think about getting the massage, because it adds to the longevity, right?
Absolutely. One of the key, my mentor always said, his mantra was, our job is to help these animals be as active as possible, as safely as possible, for as long as possible. And so if you ask most pet owners what's their greatest wish for their pet, it's for them to have a long life, and preferably a pain-free one. So
and active, yeah. The other, so tell us about how it helps with rehab or after a surgery.
Well, interestingly, one of the best things I think I can do for an animal after surgery is helping with not so much the concern. Let's say, for instance, an animal's had a stifle surgery, they've had a TPLO surgery that they're recovering from. I'm probably not coming in and worrying about the knee or the stifle as much, because the vet, the PT, they're taking care of that. But I'm looking at here's an animal who was probably active prior to surgery and is now either crate confined or they're having to be leash walked, and so they get bored and they get stiff from just having that confinement. So I'm looking at how can I support the rest of his body so that everything it can contribute to the healing. So it might just be using massage as a replacement activity so that I relieve boredom. It could be doing gentle range of motion, gentle massage over the joints to replace the activity that they're used to. And probably the biggest thing is, like you said, the circulatory support and the immune support. So making sure that during this time when they're recovering, they're not also having to battle off other things because their immune system is like primed and ready in case there's other pathogens. You know, many times we know an animal has an injury or an illness, and then it's a secondary illness that really takes them down. Right. So, and if they've had to go through surgery, they've probably been under anesthesia.
A lot of
they've
antibiotics.
been intubated. They're on medications. We can help with all those things. We can help with, you know, easing the discomfort of being intubated. Anesthesia sometimes can stay in an animal's body up to a year.
Wow.
And it can cause problems with, you know, blurred vision, diminished hearing. That, of course, their digestive flora is taken for a ride during surgery. So getting them back on all four solidly is going to help support all the efforts that are being done to restore that knee. Further down in the rehab, we might also be coming in and making sure that we're not getting, you know, adhesive tissue and we're getting back full range of motion, but that would be, you know, later on, and that's more of an advanced level training.
You know, that's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but of course you said all of that because I always say that sometimes if an animal has broken a leg and when you go in to do the medical intuition scan, you might not feel that break because that's been taken care of. That's been mobilized. It's the rest of the body that then you want to make sure that they don't get into a terrible compensation pattern.
Absolutely. The muscles splint down to protect the area. The nervous system gets kind of compressed around the body to just kind of protect. They become very aware. You know how it is if you've recently had a foot injury.
Oh my God. I got off a horse yesterday and I sat down in the parking lot because I broke my foot a couple of weeks ago, about 6 weeks ago, and I've been afraid to get off the horse, so I didn't ride, but I did ride my horse 2 times before I came here. I rode my friend's horse the other day, and then I got off. We went on a trail ride yesterday, and I got off and sat right down because I didn't want to put weight on that foot. So I looked like a dingling. I wasn't hurt. I was more embarrassed. So anyway.
Yeah. Better that you sat down than like, you know, the opposite.
Yeah.
But you know how it is. Your whole body becomes very aware of your environment. It's like when you get a sunburn. You're like, nobody touched me. And suddenly everyone wants to touch you. And dogs do that too, and cats and horses. Their whole body just kind of goes, okay, my world needs to be a little more protected right now because I've got this broken thing or this injured thing. So, you know, we have to look at the fact that the circulatory system gets compressed. We get vasoconstriction from injuries sometimes. The muscular system gets contracted because it's just trying to create, you know, a protective barrier around the body. And even just the animal's energy field contracts because they need to pull in their healing power. And that means, you know, like I said, maybe their immune system is a little suppressed. So for sure, there's a lot of layering to that injury. Sometimes the injury is the least important thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I say that all the time with medical intuition. So it's so fun to be here at the Northwest School of Animal Massage. And I think if you hear some weird sound, it's because there's a dog running around on a leash. And we're going to have a moment of, we're going to do a little demonstration.
Come here.
What is anybody saying, Claudia?
Okay, Jane Hirata says,
Jane.
it is so cool to have 2 of my teachers together.
Hi, Jane. We love Jane.
Susie Reed says, I'm here at last. She says, that is perfect. Boyfriend massage. She is amazing.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We joke, me and Claudia have a big long joke about how, like, it's 2 seconds and then it's sex. It's
I had to get off screen because that was going to go downhill very fast. So Joyce Lee Leggett says, yay, finally got here. And Bernadette says, good morning. Oh,
Good
my
morning.
goodness. Okay, now the two of you you lost the show to a very cute little face.
Yeah,
Sorry.
absolutely.
Someone stole the show.
She does that.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so this is Izzy. And, all right, so what we thought we would do is I'll do a little bit of a medical, and we got to work together all day yesterday, so
We're locked in.
yeah, we had a lot of fun, and we're going to do it again today. But I thought I would do a little, like, scan of Izzy, and then she could demonstrate what a massage would be like, a very simple one. So, the first sense I get, and this is like the 2-second jumping in, but I feel like there's from the top on the right side of her head, I do feel a little bit of pressure, even into the ear at times, and I don't know if she has really amazing hearing, but it feels like there's that pressure. The neck doesn't feel as bad, although it feels like there's a little constriction in the throat. I feel like the right shoulder's a bit dropped, and the muscles have shortened a little on the right side, not too unlike one of those horses we were with yesterday. But and then yeah, so I feel like a lot of the more the right side, but there's muscle stuff along there.
All right, cool. Okay, well, luckily Izzy's pretty comfortable with massage and familiar with it, so I'm able to work into my massage without having to do a big introduction. But generally speaking, we start with a lot of trust building and doing an opening and a full palpation or full kind of going over the body to assess. But since I already have information from Joan, and I just want to be able to do a few things quickly here with her. I'm going to move right into the areas that we're talking about. That's Dad's outside. It's okay.
I know. Dad
Yeah,
is
fine.
busy.
So I'm starting more on the superficial structures, skin, and the underlying fascia or connective tissue, just to get some loosening through those areas that were mentioned. I may have to take a little bit of time to sneak into this right side because I do feel like there's some heat over the jaw and over just behind the ear, where in the area that you mentioned that I don't feel on the left side so much. She's a little bit more of an active dog, so I kind of tend to try to bring the dog's personality into their massage. So I'm using active strokes because they'll keep her focus and attention a little bit more. If I need to start to explore deeper layers, like down into the muscle a bit, or I hit an area that's a little more restricted, then I might really slow down in order to introduce some pressure. I don't want to use pressure and speed at the same time. That might be a little uncomfortable. So here between her shoulder blades, I'm just doing a little linear friction to help open up the it's more fascia that I'm feeling here, restricted at the front of her shoulder and between her shoulder blades. So that could be contributing to any kind of shoulder asymmetry.
And I just got a little note. Can we speak a little louder?
You bet. Sorry.
It's all right. Ooh, big release.
There we go. Nice. So with that, she's just kind of giving me that invitation that we got rid of that little superficial barrier. I'm going to work a little bit deeper now in the front of her shoulder blade. So I'm using a little bit of more of a circular friction or circular traction that also has some movement to it, because sometimes if you're working in an area that might be a little sensitive for the animal or a little uncomfortable, combining some movement with your stroke can take the sting out of it. So I'm just introducing a little bit of movement with my circular friction. See if I can get this shoulder blade a little bit off the skeleton here, because there's not a lot of space between the two. So then I'm just going to go back and take a moment to do something that's a little less invasive, a little more comfortable, but also just introducing movement and reminding the left and the right that there's a relationship there. Just kind of moving the shoulder blades up and down a bit.
Now I want a massage.
I was just about to say the same thing. My neck, I'm like, oh God, I wish I was Izzy.
I was just thinking too how cool it would be to do these sessions together where, you know, you have a communicator kind of helping the conversation along, because there are times when I'm like, oh, I wish the dog would tell me if this is
No, I can
hurting,
happy
helping.
to do that because I used to do it for years with Regan and a few other people I would travel along. So I definitely feel like even just behind the ear this minute, there's an opening and I want to yawn. And I feel like whatever you opened up is bringing the right shoulder into awareness. I sense that this is really opening on the right side. I feel like there's more space between a vertebrae that was feeling a little compressed in there. I do feel like there's still something on the top of the head, on the right occiput, but it's very, just right under there. But there's an opening about to happen there.
Oh, Joan? I lost.
Did we freeze?
No, you're good.
We just had a still point.
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
So I'm just introducing a little traction at the base of the skull. A lot of muscle attachments right on that occiput that Joan was talking about. So rather than going after each muscle individually in this case, I'm just using that bony landmark to create some traction. Yeah, it's a little hard. All right. There we go.
Did anything ever happen to her right shoulder? Because it feels like she's a little protective.
Well, I don't know if you remember, I told you, she had a little bit of birth trauma.
Right.
And also her and mom took a while to get to know one another, and she used to drag her around by her leg and hide her under things. And I think she is really sensitive about you touching her front legs or holding her front legs, and I think it is a little more right than left to me. But not any specific injury that I can think of.
Okay, no, but yeah, it just feels like a little, she just suddenly got a little protective.
Yeah, there is that protective that anytime something's coming towards her, she's like, oh no, here we go. Yeah, and she does have an adhesion right here.
So that's a great thing to bring up too, that if there is old scar tissue, if there is old, you can almost alter the personality.
Absolutely. Oh, I think so many times it's, if there's discomfort in their body and they're getting more guarded, it might show as an increase in fear behavior or aggressive behavior, especially if the neck is tight. These muscles along the side of the neck help the dog look over their shoulder, but you know, sometimes you have to look up and back, sometimes you have to look alongside yourself, and sometimes you want to look down and back depending. So a lot of times the dogs that get really sensitive about other dogs coming from behind them, if they have tension in their neck, they might start to get aggressive about dogs approaching them because they're like, back off, I can't see you. It changes their peripheral view a lot when these muscles get bound up. So that's an area I work in a lot. And it can definitely alter the behavior and, you know, how that animal is experiencing its environment. If they don't like their feet touched and maybe their nails are long, hers are, you can end up with a dog who's walking very carefully because they don't want the pressure on the toes to hurt their feet, but that becomes like a stalking behavior. And another dog looks at that dog and is like, wait a minute, what are you doing? And the dog's like, I'm just walking along, but my feet hurt. And the other dog is like, I don't know, I think you're about to pounce on something. So it really can alter their ability to communicate with each other.
She's been having so many releases.
Yeah.
It's amazing to watch her.
kind of checking that range of motion. That's pretty
good.
That's really good. Yeah.
Is anyone commenting? Questions?
Yeah, Deidre Katrina says, hi Lola, good to see you again.
Hi Deidre. Nice.
Hi, Deidre.
I think we're all just kind of, wow.
Yeah.
It's just pretty amazing to watch.
Yeah, we're all ready to get on Lola's table.
It's nice and hypnotic. I mean, it is one of the greatest careers I could ever imagine because, you know, massage, they've scientifically proven that it's as good for the giver as the receiver because when you're doing a massage, your heart rate goes down, you're producing endorphins and serotonin and stuff. A lot of the same benefits the dog is getting during the session, the person's getting too. So it's like self-therapy to give a massage. It's great to get one, but it's also great to give.
Yeah. Don't let my husband hear you say that because then he'll be asking for a massage for my benefit.
Yeah, for your benefit.
Right, that's true. That could be a dangerous, slippery slope.
Susie Morrow Reed says, yes, wow. Ashley Lynn says, this is amazing to see. Shannon says, what a great combination it was. And I don't know if other people saw, but I was watching Izzy look at Joan.
Yes.
She would be watching Joan as Joan was connecting with her, which was just incredible to watch the dynamic between the three of you. Lori Thies says, hi Lola, wish I could have been at Joan's workshop this past weekend. So much good stuff.
Well, the great news is October.
Joan will be back in October. So.
And we're working out how Lola's going to come do a weekend at my house. Yeah, I know. And Claudia will be back. Oops. We'll be visiting. Will be something. So we'll have a workshop. And it's massage. Deidre took massage as an elective when she was going through the school. So it's always been an elective for our school. It's just now we're letting more people know about it. Should we take a little tour?
Sure. I'd love to show you guys around.
Okay.
So Susie, while you do that, Susie Reed says it is very beneficial to the massage giver. Again, don't repeat that in front of my husband. And then Jane Harada says the best is when the dog melts when you're giving a massage. It's such a great feeling.
I agree.
She's just incredible. This old dog, she's amazing. So
we think so too.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually.
Go ahead. And then while you do that, Joan, so glad to be learning animal massage at your school, Lola. This is Shayna Colombo. Thanks for letting me join the group, Joan. Looking forward to learning more about animal communication.
Okay, I'm turning the camera around for a moment because we're going to go to the barn in a minute, but I just want to show how cool this is to be able to, while you're in class, there's all kinds of maps here and ways to always stay in touch. Yeah, it's a very cool space. It was really fun to teach here, and there's no shortage of stuffed animals. And there's Claudia. So, say hi. All right, I'm going to bring Claudia with me to, oops, I just put my finger over the camera.
Put her in the kennel here so she can stay here.
Okay, so we're going to walk around. Yeah, I expect that everybody's going to want to come do the elective, so we'll get that set up quickly. All right, so there's their house, and going down to meet a horse. I got it.
Tanya Hoffe says, I took a weekend intro class way back when at the Open Center with Lola. I still have my book.
Oh,
awesome.
Jane says, I took NWSAM Northwest, that what it stands for, classes with Lola here in Hawaii, so I'm really enjoying the tour of the home base there.
yeah.
Lori Thies says, as a certified behavior consultant, I can tell you all that at least 85% of the aggression cases I see with dog is directly related to undetected pain. Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's very good.
Yes.
To have.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful. And
I can smell it.
I know, we went on a trail ride yesterday that was so magical.
It looks magical.
Yeah.
Ashley Lynn says, I can't wait to take acupressure and massage therapy.
Yeah. And then, let's see. Lola's coming. Here she is.
Paulette Rochelle Levy says, as a former massage therapist, I am massaging my anxious little poodle as I watch this morning. So lovely.
You know, that's the thing. It's like there's so many benefits to it, right? Like, why wouldn't everybody get a massage? Okay, I just want you to know that this is accordion player parking only. All others will be squeezed.
That's funny.
So who
plays the accordion?
Who plays the accordion? Yeah. Does anyone play the accordion?
We did for a long time have a friend here who played accordion. She was a clown and a samba dancer and an accordion player.
Oh my God, that's
so that was
great.
her parking sign.
That's hilarious.
And she did a pin-up calendar with her accordion and our miniature donkey.
Stop.
So he's famous as well.
That's ridiculous. That's so funny.
Our barn.
Do we want to see a quickie horse?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got Bobby behind us.
Okay.
Outside, we can either do him out there or bring him in. And I think Osko's still in the barn. Oh, and Galahad's here too, who we haven't talked with yet though.
Okay.
Oh my
We
goodness.
might have better light out here.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me grab his halter.
Anyone else comments?
Not yet. They come in like rushes, so I'll give it a second.
And it's we saw sunshine today. For a minute. Yeah. All right.
We are having an unusually cold and wet June.
I don't know. I've lived here before. To me, it's June.
Susie wants to know what is the name of her school. It's the Northwest
School of Animal Massage.
Yes, I'm going to put that in there. Hold on. I'll put her link in. Wait, no. Hold on. I can't do that. I can't lose the page.
And one thing, Lola, having taken the class, what would you say about animal communication and massage combined?
Oh, I cannot wait to get busy. I mean, I feel that I've always been able to tap in a little bit to the animals from a communication standpoint. But now just knowing how to, probably the biggest thing is knowing how to take the time to get neutral and not let my knowledge of the horse influence the conversation to the extent that I have in the past is going to be a huge, huge compliment. And I also feel like already the few moments I've had with my horses, like last night after you talked with Oso and I came down for night check and spent some time with him, we just have a different relationship now. Like we already had what was a very lovely, deep relationship to me, but now I just feel like he feels so much more a part of it. So I know it's going to transform my work. I'm really excited to go further into the classes. I'm definitely going to be starting the October cohort and hopefully just working with it more and more and more. I also really feel like it's going to change my relationship with my clients because I think being able to give them insights into the conversation as I get better at it, it's going to improve their confidence in their ability to
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. We had a lot of communication fun yesterday.
We sure did. And learned a lot. Learned a lot about you too, Bobby.
Joan, if Lola could speak up a little bit, just there's a lot of ambient noise. We can still hear her, but not very well. But who is this very handsome gentleman?
This is Bobby, and he appreciates the compliment because he also thinks he's very handsome.
Yeah. He knows he's handsome.
He's very special.
I'm going to put you there. Okay, so, do you need me to hold him?
Well, we can put him on blocker tie, but that might
Okay.
change the light.
Yeah, that would still work. We'll still have good light. So we got to do a little bit of tapping with this guy yesterday, and that was fun. He had a lot of, we did animal communication, and oh, here comes the cat. The cat. I know. Do you want to be? I know. I know. Mhm. Mhm. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Mhm. I know. Someone's trying to steal the show.
And who's that?
What's your kitty's name?
That is Manny.
Manny. There he is.
That came out of the conversation yesterday that Joan had with Bobby. I was saying that Bobby's not exactly, he doesn't love being too close to other horses. Sometimes if there is a fence line between them, he gets a little bit aggressive with the other horse. And I was saying, you know, we'd love to be able to give him a companion, a horse that he could spend more time with, because I think that's important, but it's not been in the cards. But then I realized after having that conversation yesterday that Manny and him have a really close relationship, and Manny comes in and lays in here in his paddock all the time. And so they actually are friends. Okay, Bobby, it's not your turn yet. We're gonna have a massage you in a minute.
Yeah, there goes Manny. Had to move the iPad quickly. Okay, so I remember yesterday we talked a lot about a spot on his back, but also, oh, look at that. He's already,
Here too, you mentioned
yeah, right there in front.
like C4 to C5 area.
Yeah,
And I remember you said right under his shoulder blade.
yeah, under his shoulder blade, yeah.
Right pole. And then yes, the back as well.
But that's where we started, yeah. And look at, he's already stretching. That's helping the shoulder.
Feel that?
Mm-hmm.
It's all connected, right? I was especially thrilled in recent years to get to learn more about the fascial system. And one of our instructors, Kim Bauer, did some work with Dr. Elbrond, who recently published work on the fascial lines. And she identified through dissection some of the muscle chains that are connected by specific fascial lines. And a big evolution in bodywork has been introducing those fascial lines and how to work on and release tension in the fascia through a combination of acupressure and massage. And I have found that to be really helpful for horses, especially because so much of their life is spent upright, even sleeping, that fascial restriction can be a big issue for them. And just reducing that tension in the fascial system can have a huge change on not just mobility. I mean, that's what you see is the increase in mobility. But we now know that the fascia transmits light in the body. It transmits a lot of your nerve impulses, and it also is part of our memory system. So a lot of your visceral memories are stored in your fascia. So being able to address that system more specifically, here's a real point of tension.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can definitely feel like the the hesitation in him when I came into this area. There's that little bit of guarding. So I'm just going to hang out here for a second.
And when we think of fascia, we think of almost like a sheet that's under the skin. And so if there's been an injury, then the fascia is like a sheet that's rippled under the skin, and it's going to affect the muscles, the nerves, the skin, the mobility, the bone structure.
And how you experience that, how you're experiencing the world emotionally, because your fascia stores a lot of your memory. So if it's tight, then you're bringing that tension into your experiences too. So it colors their experience from an emotional standpoint, from a physical standpoint, and of course physiologically.
So I feel that all the way down to like that release right there, that opening. He's got a bug.
Yeah, the bugs are kind of bad today because it was a little bit rainy last night. So give them a little more room to.
So we have a few comments, Jill, when you're ready.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so
I thought somebody was next to me. I forgot you were there, Claudia.
What?
I forgot you were there, and I thought someone was standing next to me. I was like, who's here? Go ahead.
I don't know if they can hear me though on the Facebook Live.
Okay, I'll bring you.
It says, it really does change. Susie Reed says it really does change with clients when you can communicate with their animals. It does. Joelle Bauer says, do you need a special license to do animal massage? Joan?
Absolutely.
Yes. Susie says, oh, what a beautiful dappled boy. Jane says, to have animal communication training makes starting a massage session a lot easier because the pet knows you're there to support and help them, and they will tell you what they want and need.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Susie, who's also a equine massage therapist, says she has a love touch about Lola, and I felt that one up my neck. Yeah. So.
Okay, cool.
And we need to wrap it up, Joan. We've got 10 minutes left.
Okay. I know. See, we get going and we could just do this all day.
I was just going to say I could sit here and watch this all day, but.
Yeah. So what I was feeling when you opened up some of that in the shoulder was all the way down to the foot, to the hoof.
Really?
Yeah. Did he ever have right front stuff?
Yeah, that's suspensory.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And that makes total sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I forget. Once I do a reading, I'm like, I forget.
We never forget.
Yeah.
Those that get to hear it. But yes, this horse did have some soft tissue injury in that right front leg. He's now retired, but he was, a show horse, and he sustained an injury, not showing, but just out in the paddock. But those injuries, that scar tissue can have ripple effects far-reaching throughout the fascial system. So, not surprising that it could change how he experiences things at the shoulder, at the low back.
Right.
In his breathing, even because, of course, the front limb in the horse is attached to the body purely through soft tissue. So unlike us, they don't have a collarbone or a clavicle. So everything connecting the limb to the body is soft tissue. So if you have any kind of soft tissue concerns in the front limb, they're going to affect that whole relationship.
That's amazing. All right. Well, everybody, we got lucky today with having Lola with us.
Well, thanks for joining.
Thank you, Lola.
Great to show you a little bit of the farm and the campus here, and great to see some familiar faces and share a little bit. And I'm really thrilled for you guys to continue your journey in animal communication. I hope to see you more in these Facebook Lives on the other side. I'll be listening in.
Yeah, and you know what?
you.
We're both going to each other's school, so it's going to be really fun.
Thank you so much, Lola.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.